Friends, put your hands together to welcome on stage Quizmaster Big Brain.
Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Big Brain, here today on the second semi-final of YCC2020's Industry Awareness Quiz. You watched a phenomenal quiz earlier, the first of our semi-finals, where we saw a young lad from Coimbatore going into the mega final. Here now, we've got three fantastic contestants from two regions of India and not three. And I'll come to them in just a moment as we progress with the quiz. But for the benefit of all of you, YCC itself has been an outstanding movement and a journey created by skillablers to help the youth of this nation to really find a direction towards the future in a meaningful way, where you get more answers rather than questions being thrown at you. So a very innovative, solution-oriented idea within which we've created this industry awareness quiz. Because one of the other things, apart from connecting with individuals, institutions, and industry, is the importance of having an awareness beyond academics, which is knowledge of the industry. So here today we've got three wonderful contestants who have qualified through the grueling rounds that were conducted on the skillabler platforms of softwares to get to our final. In this final, which is our second semi-final, we have three qualifiers, and let me begin by introducing them to you before we move any further with our semi-final here today. As our first contestant here today, we have with us Ritika from Rajagiri College of, I think it's Rajagiri School of Business Studies, if I'm not wrong, and she qualifies from the city of Kochi. Welcome to you, Ritika. So that's the Rajagiri Center for Business Studies. And as we move on to the next contestant, with Ritika Varghese on our first table as our second contestant, joining us from the lovely city of Bengaluru is Aditi from Jain University. Welcome to you, Aditi. As our third contestant here today, we have with us also from Rajagiri, Kochi, is Sri Lakshmi, who qualifies as our third finalist. Welcome to you. Well, for the benefit of all our viewers, we did have a fourth finalist qualifying, and it happened to be another young girl, Priya Kothari, who unfortunately is not able to make it due to an emergency. So we will play out this semi-final with three finalists. One of the three of you will qualify and move into the mega final. For now, we're going to start with our rounds and four of them on the buzzer, and we will then get to the final round where I'll explain the rules to you. You've tested your buzzers, we're good to go. The format is as follows. I keep throwing questions onto the screen. You get the buzzer, you get it right, you get a plus 50. You get it wrong, you get a minus 50. So be careful before you hit the buzzer. You get a minus 50 if you get it wrong, you get a plus 50 if it's right. And I've got one request for all you three lovely ladies taking part here today. Please smile. This is not university exams. That's nice. All right. At the end of the day, it's a sport, and we're just trying to understand the industry in a slightly better way. And now that you've made it to the nation's top 16, you can afford to give yourself a smile. All right. Round one of our semi-final here today, Industry Insight. It's turned out to be an all-girls semi-final. So we'll see who's going to go into the final from here amongst you. Kerala, Karnataka battle, technically speaking, because two from Kochi, one from Bengaluru. And we're going to get started with the first question. The industry will also appear on your screen on the left, so you got to keep an eye on that to contextualize your answer if you want to. On the first one, from the world of aviation, here we go. Hands on the buzzer. This is the old identity of an airline from Germany. Well, someone's gone for it on the buzzer. It's Sri Lakshmi. And from the world of aviation, yes?
Lufthansa.
Is absolutely right, and she'll get the first 50 here today. She's hit that buzzer quickly and scored the first scores of our semi-final. As we go to the next one, on your screen from the world of media now. Which comic publisher in India decided to bring out books on real life people, and among them, one of the heroes that was celebrated was the life of M.S. Subbalakshmi? All you got to tell me is the name of this magazine. And Ritika is taking a shot at it. Go ahead, Ritika.
Sir, Amar Katha.
Oh, well played. Amar Chitrakatha is absolutely right. And she'll get a 50 as well. And we go on to the third one onto your screens now. This is a famous club. Sri Lakshmi is taking a shot at it from the world of sport. Yes?
Crocs.
Well, minus 50 to you in a hurry, not waiting for me to complete my question. A drink, an energy drink, gets its name from this club where the coach wanted the players to have better replenishment for the salt that they would lose. The club is called Gators and the drink is called Gatorade. Tough one, and in a hurry was Sri Lakshmi, losing the 50 that she had gained earlier. As we go to the next one on your screens, from the world of manufacturing, here it comes. This is a computer created by a company from Finland. Very few in the world know that they actually made computers. They became very famous for actually being a telecom company. The world knows them better in the mobile business. But in reality, they had also made this computer which never sold. Which great mobile giant from Finland are we talking about? It's a famous company in the mobile business. Of course, they've later got acquired by a huge American giant. Famous mobile manufacturing giant. Is someone taking a chance? Sri Lakshmi has hit the buzzer.
Sir,
Yeah,
is it
Sri
Nokia?
Lakshmi.
Is it Nokia?
Is perfectly correct. Oh, well played. She's got the 50 again that she lost. Nokia is perfectly correct. Early days in our quiz, but we'll take a first look at where the contestants are. But all of that on the other side of this break. Give me a quick break and I'll tell you where the contestants are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Pick Brain, on YCC 2020, the Industry Awareness Quiz. You're watching the second semi-final, with three of them battling here today, two of them from Kochi and one from Bengaluru. Happens to be an all-girl semi-final. Leading this quiz are two of them, Ritika and Sri Lakshmi, both from Kochi. The young girl, Aditi from Bangalore, yet to score, but I'm sure she's going to do that. As we move to the second frontier of our battle, time for us to pick action on industry expressions. Here it comes. All right, let's get started with the first one, and it's from the world of design. On your screen, Whose visiting card is this? Considered to be among the first visiting cards ever produced. In fact, the person hand drew his visiting cards. Great man from the world of art and design would actually hand out such visiting cards to people during his days. He was in the business of creating comic cartoons, advertising cartoons, animated motion picture cartoons. Huge clues to a great personality who is believed to have in some ways created the idea of modern visiting cards that we all carry. This is how the early parts looked. A great person after whom a great company is today named. From the world of comic and animation is someone taking a chance. Think of yourself as school kids, you'll crack it. That's the easy way to crack a question like this. Not trying? All right. This was extremely easy for you to miss, in my opinion, and you're going to smile when I give you the answer. The one and only Walt Disney. Well, Walt Disney created his own visiting cards. He was a great animator and a great cartoonist, wasn't he? As we go to the next one on your screens from the world of infrastructure, here it comes. This is a photograph of something in Japan. The real estate crisis of Japan has made people create such infrastructure. You can see numbers on your screen, 612, 614, 618. What are these in Japan? In the modern world, you got to think out the answer. It's not difficult. And they have a huge space constraint in Japan. So they've come out with these fantastic ideas. What are these in Tokyo, Japan? Come on. You got to take your chances. Nobody going on the buzzer again. All right. Tough one for you. Again, I'm going to give you the answer. These are, believe it or not, hotel rooms in Japan. That's the amount of space. So it's like hostels that you would have. People actually have only a room like that, which is like a double-sized coffin where you actually stay, go to work, and come back and stay. So they barely have space, just about to sleep. Here's the next one coming on your screen from the world of management. Now, he is an absolutely famous writer. One of the famous books he wrote is Who Will Cry When You Die? He also authored another great book which said he was the man who bought the Ferrari as a monk. He also has a great concept for youngsters called the 5 a.m. Club. Who is this great writer who says, less talk and more do will take you forward in life? All right. The girls are really playing it safe. And with only 3 of them, 50 can be not really room for too much of, margin for comfort. The answer that I was looking for, Robin Sharma. As we go to the next one, and that's the 4th one on your screen from the world of retail. Here it comes. Identify this retail outlet, very popular all over India now. These are famous stores that you will find. All these famous stores are now like sisters and brothers of the famous Walmart in the way they choose to name themselves. Identify this. All right, none of the girls really want to take a chance. Okay, I think they're so worried about the minus 50 and not about gaining the 50s. So they're playing tremendously cautiously, but that's perfectly all right. But you're going to kick yourselves again on the answer. This is the famous D-Mart outlets that you find all over India these days. Once you remove the D and the Mart, the logo looks so different, doesn't it? Anyway, We have not really moved too much on the scorecard. We've got Ritika and Sri Lakshmi still on 50, Aditi to catch up, and we're going to move on to the next round of our final here, and that's called Industry Scanner. Here it comes. On the Industry Scanner, again, I've got 4 questions for you, starting with the first one from the world of design, coming up now. This is a company in the silk business, and they've changed their entire silk business with their unique designs. Which company am I talking about? Ritika from Kerala is on the buzzer. Yeah, Ritika, what's your answer from the world of silk?
So the Chennai Silks.
Chennai Silks is absolutely right, and she'll get that right. So she'll get a 50-pointer on that. And on Chennai Silks, it takes her to 100 as she gets a 50 on that question. We move on to the next one. Hands on the buzzer, contestants. If you are ready, here's the next question coming from the world of hospitality on your screen now. To make everything simple and everything exotic, this ice cream brand even created a hospitality guideline for their spoons. Which ice cream brand are we talking about? Famous for their pink spoons. Very popular in India as well. Which famous ice cream brand are we talking about? Sri Lakshmi is taking a shot. Aditi a little late on the buzzer. Yeah, Sri Lakshmi.
Sir, is it Baskin and Robbins?
Absolutely right. She'll get that correct, and she'll move on to 100 as well as we move on to the next question of our quiz from the world of gaming on your screen now. Which famous Sri Lakshmi has gone for it? Aditi, you got to be faster on the buzzer. She's hitting, but she's hitting second every time. Yes, Sri Lakshmi.
Temple Run?
And which company would you know?
I'm not
What
sure, sir.
studios? All right, she'll still get a 50 on that one as Sri Lakshmi. She moves to a 150 on Imangi Studios and Temple Run. So that's good enough and not out of their memories, though the game seems to be fading, at least with the youngsters, in terms of preference. As we move to the next one on your screen from the world of banking, here we go. Which bank is this? Sri Lakshmi yet again. She's quick on the buzzer.
Union Bank?
Is perfectly correct, and that takes her to a 200. Sri Lakshmi is really playing this game well and slowly beginning to move from strength to strength. As we move on to the next round of our game here today, the fourth of our rounds on the buzzer, it's time for an industry monitor. Here it comes. On the first one, coming up on your screen is a question from the world of NGOs. On your screen, identify this popular NGO. They are huge in the food sector. And Aditi has gone for it from Bengaluru. Yes, Aditi?
Is it Akshaya Patra?
Lovely, beautiful answer. It's nice to see youngsters like you crack such questions. Akshaya Patra is known for the free meals programs where a lot of schools get fed by a phenomenal technology actually that they follow, where the food is just not touched till the person starts to eat it. So beautiful technology enabling a process of social upliftment in a sense. As we go to the next one, hands on that buzzer, question on your screen. Who is this from the world of EdTech? Or what did he start? Ritika has gone for it. Go ahead, Ritika.
He is the owner of Byju's.
He's the owner of Byju's. In Kerala, if you don't know his name, you'll get minus 500. Well, That is the famous Ravindran from Byju's, but you'll get a 50 for that. So Ritika going up by another 50 to 150. As we go to the next question on your screens from the world of digital, here it comes on your screens now. Which great company in the world of e-commerce in India was started by these two classmates, both with the same surname, Bansal? The Bansals of India created a famous e-commerce website. Today, only one of them is in some way involved, the other has left. But it's one of India's iconic e-commerce stars. What are we talking about? Huge e-commerce giant. India's pride in many ways. I'm sure someone's going to take a shot at it. Could be one of your favorite shopping outlets as well. Well, maybe the e-commerce options are too many today to choose from, so no one wants to take a minus. Aditi might just want to take a risk. She's on 50. No? Extremely famous e-commerce website in India. Nobody taking a chance on that? Well, you're all going to smile when I give you the answer. The answer is Flipkart. Well, everyone's smiling. Keep that smile. That is important. As we go to the next one on screen from the world of tourism. Here we go. 7 colors which explain a region of India promoting tourism. The clue is in the 7 colors. Which region of India is this called Paradise Unexplored? A very famous region of India. Though, in terms of tourism, Kerala would be one of the best promoted in India. If Kerala says God's own country, collectively who says Paradise Unexplored? Ritika is taking a shot at it. She needs a 50. Is she going to get it? Which region I said?
The Northeast.
Very well played. Beautifully played. Why 7 colors, Ritika? Did you figure that?
I believe they represent the 7 sisters, the 7.
Lovely, lovely. Absolutely well answered. That's a good one to get a 50. That makes this quiz super interesting. With one final round to go, I need to take a quick break. On the other side, I'll tell you where these 3 contestants are before we get to that final frontier. Back in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the second semi-final at YCC2020's Industry Awareness Quiz. A creation of Skillablers, brought to you, of course, by Grey Caps 1 Minute Learning. And we're going to move into the final frontier, but before we do that, here's a look at the industry quotient of our 3 semi-finalists. It's an amazing situation, and you can see that on your screen. On 200 is Ritika, on 200 is Sri Lakshmi, on 50 is Aditi, and she knew she had to press on Flipkart, and the smile said it all, didn't it? But we're going to move into the final round, which will determine who's going to go into the mega final from among these 3. The battle seems to be between Ritika and Sri Lakshmi at this point in time, and we're going to go in a manner where we're going to have Aditi playing the game first in the last round. Sri Lakshmi, who's been leading from the early part, will play last, and Ritika will get to play second. So that's the sequence in which we will play the last round, which does not pass. And it's 1 minute of questioning for each of you contestants on a rapid fire. So if you are ready, we're going to go into the final frontier of our game, which we call Industry in a Minute. Here it comes. Well, friends, before we move on to this round called Industry in a Minute, let's pause for a minute to actually evaluate our lives today. We don't have time for anyone. No one has time for us. That's the kind of a world we sometimes live in. And the reality is, we sometimes don't even have time for our own improvement. We don't have time for our own furthering of our knowledge. But in this modern world, what works best is to get those knowledge in small bites and small intervals. So we at Grey Caps are truly proud to introduce what we call 1 Minute Learning. It's an app that we've created. It's called oneminlearning.com. Go to that site and maybe you should download the app for yourself. What we do is we give you small little capsules, which is bite-sized information. All we seek is 1 minute of your time every day to make you more knowledgeable and a better communicator. Well, knowledge certainly makes you communicate better. For now, industry knowledge in a minute is what I'm going to test with our 3 contestants. We're going to start with Aditi playing her 1 minute of time. The rules, Aditi. In 1 minute of time, I'm going to ask you 4 questions. If you get it right, you get 50 per question. If you get it wrong, it's a minus 50. The time taken by the quizmaster to read the question is included in the 1 minute of time. So space out your time carefully. If you don't answer a question and you say pass, then you don't get a negative. So you can choose not to answer a question. However, you cannot go back to a question even if you have time at the end of 60 seconds. So play it out carefully. If you're ready, Aditi, your 1 minute of learning and 1 minute of answering, time starting now. Which Tata Consultancy Services chairman was India's first commercial pilot? Ratan Tata or J.R.D. Tata?
J.R.D. Tata.
Is correct. Which all cotton fabric from Calicut was introduced to India by the Europeans in the 18th century? Kotayantam or Calico?
The first option.
Kotayantam is incorrect, and that will give you a minus 50. You could have passed that. Question number 3 for you. International Day of Non-Violence in the world is on which Indian's birthday? International Non-Violence Day.
Pass.
Final question to you. In 1974, barcodes, which we find on all products, was introduced for the first time on which brand? Kellogg's or Wrigley's?
Kellogg's.
Well, you took a negative on that one, and the one that you missed was Mahatma Gandhi's birthday, his World Non-Violence Day. So, well, Aditi really playing the game well, but what I like is whatever she scores, she smiles, and that's important. That's a nice spirit to carry, young Aditi. The spirit is more important than winning or losing. As we go across to Ritika now, who's going to take her 60 seconds of time. Are you ready, Ritika? If you are good to go, your 60 seconds of time starting now. Which animal will you find on the logo of the World Wildlife Fund?
A panda.
Is correct. What term is derived from the French word for one who undertakes? An undertaker or entrepreneur? French word for one who undertakes.
Entrepreneur.
Is correct. Which brand gets its name from the Danish words for play well and claims they are in the business of making little bricks for children? Very popular with kids.
Play-Doh.
Is incorrect. It's Lego that I was looking for. Final question to you. 21 Lessons for the 21st Century is a book authored by Nassim Taleb or Yuval Noah Harari.
Pass.
Oh, she's played the last one cleverly to not take a negative there, and she's ended up with 250. So Sri Lakshmi has to get 2 right. Yuval Noah Harari was the last one. If she had not got Lego wrong, she would have actually been on 300. So Ritika learning her lessons very quickly. See, 1 minute learning works. as we move to our final contestant. Sri Lakshmi needs 2 right to go into the big final of this quiz journey that we've had at YCC. If you are ready, Sri Lakshmi,
Yes, sir.
your 1 minute of time starting now. India's national football captain Sunil Chhetri endorses which of these shoe brands? Adidas or Puma?
Puma.
Is correct. Nitin Noria is the dean of which business school? Harvard or Wharton?
I don't know, sir.
You want to pass? All right. Question
Yes,
number
sir.
3. Which company now owns the motorcycle brand Java? Mahindra or Suzuki?
Mahindra.
Is correct. Final question to you. The garden by the bay makes millions of dollars for which country? The gardens by the bay. It's a beautiful creation. You're on 300. Final question. Well, is she going to just let it go? She's got 5
Pass, sir.
seconds. She chooses to pass. Sometimes girls understand the value of silence more than boys do. Well, and that pass on that last question was a beautiful tactical move which keeps her at 300. So she'll inch past Ritika to become the winner of our second semi-final. Congratulations, Sri Lakshmi. Extremely well played. Good calculative game in the last one. And she certainly did answer a lot of questions and take a couple of negatives too, which knocked her out in between. But she's come back brilliantly, especially with the answers of Mahindra and Puma. Singapore is the country where you would find Gardens by the Bay, and Nitin Noria is the dean at Harvard Business School. So those were the 2 that you did not get. But with our 3 semi-finalists here today, and truly fantastic to have you all among the top 16 in this country from more than 10,000 students who took this quiz over the last 1 week. So that's a huge achievement for you to be in the nation's top 16. Congratulations to the 3 of you. And to Sri Lakshmi, you are now in the nation's top 4. So you will be on in the national final, and all the best to you on this amazing journey that you're having. But for all of you who've taken part, and for all of you who are watching this final, from me, Pick Brain, from all of us here at YCC 2020's Industry Awareness Quiz, till we come back to you tomorrow evening, same time, with the 3rd semi-final, it's me, Pick Brain, signing off. Good evening and goodbye.